Hello, everyone. Good morning or afternoon. Sorry, I'm like have multiple water jugs all over the house, and yet I could not find mine. Let's see. Hi. Okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Raina. My pronouns are she, her, and it's very, very lovely to be here with you all. Class will start in about 4 minutes officially, but in the meantime, I just want to take a moment and give you a quick rundown of things that I think will be helpful as far as props go, and talk just a little bit about what today's class will be focusing on. So for today's class, I do recommend just having a couple blocks or block-like things, maybe a stool or a chair, just something to bring the ground a little bit closer, and a couple blankets or towels, really just for your comfort. Knee cushion, booty cushion. I have a lot of booty cushion and I still need blankets. So, because today, I don't know about y'all, I don't know where you are in this world, but here it's like, I can feel spring like blooming inside of me, but it's just not quite ready yet. And so it's just like, oh, it's like the crest of a wave and it's not breaking. And I just feel really full of energy. And so today's class, I am really looking to like channel and harness this energy and like build that really strong, stable, substantial feeling from the ground up. Like we're just like little trees, just like rooting and rising. And this all sounds very like yoga teacher, but hey, that's what I am. So we're really going to be bringing in some low lunges, but more than anything, this class is about feeling good. This is a feel good flow. And so I really try to keep things structurally pretty simple. And this is all a framework for your exploration. So whatever I'm providing, take it as is or take it as a starting point to explore, to see how your body's moving today, to see how your body's feeling today. And then, work within those boundaries. Yeah. So we're going to get started in just a moment on our bottoms. So sitting in a comfortable seat, I personally like a supported kind of crisscross applesauce. Sukhasana, easy pose, is what we call it in yoga, Sanskrit. So maybe sitting on a couple blankets, maybe supporting your knees with pillows, bolsters, or blocks, but really taking some intentional time to consider your comfort. And so it's not just plopping down and be like, yeah, this will do. Take a moment, adjust, move your meat sack around, shake your hands, and settle in. This is your time. And I want as many moments as possible to feel just like a service, an act of service to yourself. So finding that comfortable seat, allow your hands just to rest on your thighs and maybe in your lap. And then when you feel settled in, let your eyes close or just soften your gaze. And find some breath. Now you've been breathing all day up until this point, and you're going to continue to breathe. But I want you just to become aware of your breath. And how your inhales feel as they enter your body from the tips of your nose all the way down to where your breath is landing in your body. Whether it's a ragged breath or a smooth breath. If the air feels cold or hot. And if your body responds in any physical ways as you inhale, maybe you find a little tension or a little twitch. See if you can offer that same attention to your exhale. How the breath feels as it exits your body. What spaces feel like they empty out first? Whether you're more naturally inclined to exhale through your nose or your mouth. And really just trying to embody the witness, the observer. Watching yourself without judgment. And just taking everything in as information. With your next exhale, take a moment, try to clear your body out. Nice long exhale. Draw a big breath in through your nose and hold for just a moment at the top, allowing us to come together. Take a big sigh, exhale. 2 more just like that. So deep breath in through your nose. Hold for a moment. Exhale. Last one, big deep breath in. And a big exhale. Sliding your hands up to your body, one on the belly, one on the chest, either to touch your body or to hover over yourself. And feeling the connection. Heart, breath, body. Beginning today's class with a thank you. Usually I end with some thank yous, but today, take a moment. Thank yourself for making time to come, to be here, to practice. Take a moment, thank your space. Thank the energies, the ancestors, the spirits, whatever you believe in, the things that allow us to be here, the people who came before us, who occupy this land. The practice that we practice, the lineage it comes from. In a moment, just to thank your body. And very slowly begin to blink your eyes open or just refocus your gaze. Take your space in, you can look around. Releasing your hands from your body or in front of your body. If you have any supports under your knees, slide them out. Just lean back for a moment onto your hands. Press them into the earth. You can rock a little side to side. And come to the center. Start to press your chest towards the sky. You can keep rocking or you can find some stillness. Maybe head drops back a little bit. Then start to circle your chest. Just pausing to switch direction. This doesn't need to be pretty, and it doesn't even really need to feel natural right now. Just kind of moving, maybe ways we don't normally move every day. Good. Coming back to center, press yourself up, bring your hands to your knees. And we'll begin some ribcage circles once again, but this time really centering our weight over our hips. So drawing some big or little circles, see what feels good. Allowing your hips to really rock off the earth. You can kind of feel like a spinning top here a little bit. And then pause to switch your direction. And so often people ask me, what can I do first thing in the morning? You can sit up in bed and do this, and you will start your day feeling, I think, pretty good. And slowly just making those circles smaller, drawing them into the midline, till eventually they dissolve. Finding a little bit of stillness. Good. Then either bringing your hands behind you once again, or seeing if you feel like balancing on your booty as you switch which leg is in front, coming onto your adventure side. And then bringing your hands back to your knees, begin your circles once again. Just taking a little note, stepping into that witness once again, and just seeing how this side may feel a little different than the other side. Not better, not worse, just different. Making these observations without qualifying them. That is the yoga. Pausing to switch the directions of your circles. Good. And then slowly dissolving your circles. Coming to some stillness. Good. From here, extend your left leg just out to the side. Doesn't need to be wide, doesn't need to be a super big kind of reach here. And then your left hand will come behind your left leg, either to the earth or a block on whatever height feels most available. Press your fingertips down. Take your right hand, put it onto your left rib cage, and just start to turn it a little bit. Good. Then you bring your right hand behind your head, little side bend here. Left rib cage continues to wrap under the body. Leaning a little weight from your head into your right hand. Then maybe walking your left fingertips a little further towards your left foot for 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. And then we'll just switch sides. So you can use your hands to help or challenge your balance a bit. Extend your right leg out. Left leg bends. Good. And then right hand comes behind your left leg to the ground or to a block. Left hand starts by grabbing that right rib cage and just rotating it forward a bit. Left hand then comes to the base of the skull, finding that little side bend, reaching through your right fingertips, and then rotating your sternum towards the sky. Put a little weight from your head into your hand. Just kind of feeling that pulling apart in multiple directions. The way we can extend in all these ways, still stay centered and grounded. For 3, 2, and coming up. Good. If you have blocks, bring them to the front of your mat. Swing your legs around and we'll come into tabletop. I am a personal fan of a blanket under my knees, but the choice is yours. I still have my socks. So coming into tabletop, hands about shoulder distance apart, knees about hips distance. Take that moment and settle in. I think of like a cat, kind of what do they call it, making biscuits on a blanket or a bed or a tummy, and just really finding that grip, finding that ground, claiming some space. With an inhale, drop your belly towards the earth, tailbone moves towards the sky, chest moves through your biceps, gaze shifts up for cow pose. Exhale, press the ground away. Find space between your shoulder blades and round your tailbone towards your belly button for cat. Then inhale into cow. And exhale, cat. And continue moving through cat-cow just on your own here. Finding a pace that feels good for you. And it can be fun to explore kind of like the counter pace. If you tend to move really slow, like I'm a really slow mover, it can be fun to stay engaged and use your breath to pump a little faster, maybe just for 2 or 3 rounds, and then return to your natural pace, or vice versa. If you move super fast, see if you can slow it down. Beautiful. Coming back into your cow pose. So next time you're in cow, pause there. Tuck your toes. And we're going to take cat-cow into a forward and back kind of motion. So standing in cow here, start to inhale, send your hips back towards your heels, feeling a little stretch across the arch of your foot. Then exhale, round your back, pull yourself forward. Once your shoulders are towards your fingertips, inhale, cow pose, send your hips back. Round your spine, exhale, pull yourself forward. Good. Inhale, cow. Send the hips back. Exhale, round your spine, cat, move forward. One more in this direction. So inhale, cow, send your hips back. Exhale, round forward for cat and pause here. Shoulders really moving towards your fingertips. A little bit of, you might feel a little stretch in the inside of your forearms. So pause here for a moment, really hollow out, find your cat pose. So round through your upper back. Take an inhale. Exhale, keep your spine rounded, send your hips back towards your heels. Good. With the hips back, arch your back. Inhale, pull your chest forward. Exhale, round your upper back, send your hips back. Good. Inhale, arch your back, pull your chest through your arms. Exhale, round, send your hips back. 3 more. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Exhale, round back. For 2, inhale, pull yourself forward, cow pose. Exhale, round, send the hips back. Last one, inhale, pull yourself forward, cow. Exhale, round yourself back for cat. Good. Come back to center. Either sit your hips back towards your heels, toes tucked or untucked, or lift your hips up, coming onto your knees either way. Extend your arms out in front of you, make some fists. And then start to rev your little motorcycle here. We're just on the wrists for a bit, so giving them a little love. Keep your fists, insides of your arms flip towards the sky, and then reverse boxing, something like that. Good. Interlace your fingers, bring them in front of your heart or your chest, and then ride the roller coaster, make the wave. Switch directions. Good. Release your arms, give them a little shake. And then you're welcome to use your hands to help, or again, you can challenge that balance in a little bit of a different way. Start to lean your weight just a little onto your right knee as you slide your left foot forward, coming into a lunge. And it'll take a little adjusting. You may need to play with how wide your stance is, because I want you to feel really stable as you pulse back and forth. You can interlace your hands once more and bring them to the top of your thigh. And just find those little pulses. This is why I love a blanket. And for this round, or like this moment in the sequence, we're actually not even going to hold a lunge at any point. So we're just pulsing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come into your lunge, and then very slowly release your hands. Slide that left foot back under your body, either using your hands to help or not. And we'll switch sides. So lean towards the left and then slide that right foot up. Find your stance here. That's why I like the pulse, because it allows you to kind of like move your foot around and see where you're feeling most balanced. And when you find that spot, interlace your hands, place them on top of your thigh, and pulse. Another option would be to bring your hands to your blocks. You can put a little bit more weight into them and pulse here. Sorry, I should have mentioned that on the first side, but I'm just going to blame my zodiac. I'm an Aquarius, so. And again, we won't be holding our lunge. So breathing and pulsing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come into your lunge for just that moment. Release your hands, either find support or challenge your balance in a different way, and slide your right knee under your body. Good. Hands come back to the earth, tuck your toes, lift your knees, and find a downward facing dog. You can walk your feet as wide as your mat if you like, and really bend deeply. We'll take about 5 rounds of breath here, just bending your knees, wiggling your hips. Gaze shifts up between your hands, and then take some nice wide steps to walk your way up into a forward fold at the top of your mat. You can bring your hands to your blocks if they're available. I like the highest level here, but the choice is yours. Knees stay bent. Just press your hands into your blocks and rock your hips side to side. If blocks don't have any blocks today, you can bring your hands to your shins or really bend very deeply and your fingertips can come to the ground. Good. And ceasing that rocking motion, come back to center. Press your hands firmly in to your blocks of your legs. Start to extend your arms so they're straight. Lift your chest and look out ahead of you. Halfway lift. Take a breath in. Exhale. Fold forward. Let your arms bend. Head grows heavy. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift your heart. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to your legs. Start to walk your way up to upright. You can pause at your hips. Let your head hang heavy. Take a few rounds of breath at any point. And we'll all just meet it standing. Take your time. There's no rush. So taking time to adjust to this new level. We're like halfway through class and have not stood yet. So adjust your clothes, your head, your hair. Roll your shoulders down your back a little bit. Turn your palms so they're facing forward. Find a little softening in your knees. Check in with your hips and see if your booty's sticking out or if it's pressed really far forward. Can we find neutral? Can we feel like our hips and our shoulders are stacked? Rock your head a little side to side, just finding some space between your earlobes and your shoulders. Good. Grab your elbows with your hands. Bring your arms overhead and frame your head with your arms. If your elbows aren't available, grab your forearms or your wrists even. We just want kind of a box with our arms framing our head. And then slide your shoulders away from your ears a little bit. Take a big breath in, start to reach your arms back, chest moves towards the sky. And exhale, side bend to the right, really anchor your left heel towards the earth. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, release your arms down by your side. Good. Inhale, arms overhead, reach long through your fingertips. Exhale, fold forward. Taking a few rounds of breath at the bottom here. Hands are on your blocks of your legs. Start to reach your right toes out behind you. Kind of as far back as you can comfortably go, and then lower your left toes out behind you. Yeah. There we go. And then lower your left knee to the earth. Just finding our lunge here. So our right foot is in front, our left foot is behind us. Bringing your hands to the inside of your right foot here. Just giving yourself more space. Settling in. You moving your belly towards the inside of your thigh. Situating your chest between your arms. And then start to feel as if you're sliding or scraping your right foot towards the back of the mat, drawing that energy up from the earth. Ideally, we're feeling the backs of our legs, our hamstrings start to really work for us. Start to lift your lower belly away from the earth. Draw your belly button in. Now you're feeling super engaged. See if you can remain 10% of this engagement. And on an inhale, rise up. Arms overhead, grab your elbows, forearms, or wrists with your hands. So finding that little box once again, start to reach your arms back, chest moves towards the sky, gaze shifts up. If this feels really stressful on your hips, try shortening your stance a little bit. Making that lunge a little bit boxier and a little bit more substantial, a little bit more grounded. Good. Breathe in here for 3. For 2. And 1. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your spine to neutral. Inhale, extend your arms overhead. And exhale, bring your hands to your blocks or the earth. Take a big breath in. Exhale, send your hips back, straighten into your right leg, and pull your right toes towards your shin for a half splits here. You can walk your hands a little closer to your body to keep your heart a little bit more lifted and to find that creasing at your hips. Nice bend in your right knee, maybe a soft one or maybe a bigger one. And then think about cow pose, arch your back. Breathing here for 3. For 2. And 1. And start to rebend that right knee. Walk your hands forward if you walk them back. And then tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, take a big step or multiple steps up into your forward fold. Beautiful. And this time we will step our right foot back, or whichever side you didn't do. To the back of the mat, lower your right knee down, and then start to settle into that lunge shape. So maybe moving your hands to the inside of your left foot, adjusting your stance, adjusting your blanket. And then when you find that really comfortable, that really supportive space, we start to engage. So really feel as if you're scraping your left foot towards the back of the mat. This is an isometric movement. So we're not actually moving, but we are kind of turning things on. Start to lift your lower belly away from the ground. Then a small draw of your belly button in. And with an inhale, rise up, arms come overhead, and then grab your elbows, forearms or wrists with your hands, and switch your grip. So whichever side feels kind of the more natural side, just bring that arm behind. And it's usually going to be your non-dominant hand or arm in front as your kind of less comfortable adventure side. So arms reach behind the body, chest moves towards the sky. Maybe your gaze shifts up. And again, if your hips are feeling way too stressed out here, shorten your stance. Lift your lunge up a little bit and take some of the weight of your body off of your hips. But again, that squeezing motion, that pulling of that left foot towards the back of the mat, and the stacking of your hips under the body may also help alleviate some of that stress on your hips. Holding here for 3, for 2. Good. Big breath in. Exhale brings you back to neutral with your spine. Inhale, arms extend overhead. Exhale, hands come down to your blocks or the earth. Good. Big breath in. And exhale, center hips back as you move your left leg towards something straighter than what it just was. Pull your left toes towards your body. Ooh, half splits here, Ardha Hanumanasana. Either a big or a soft bend in your left knee. And then think cow pose. Lift your heart, a little flick of your tailbone towards the sky. Kind of feel like you're pulling a bow, your hamstrings start to light up a little bit. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Walk your hands forward and bend into your left knee. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Big step or little steps up into your forward fold. Head things nice and heavy. Maybe you can rock your hips again as we did earlier, or it may feel good just to be static and still. For 3 more rounds of breath. Good. Press your hands firmly into blocks or legs, and on an inhale, find a halfway lift, look out ahead. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Hands come to your shins and walk your way back to upright. Pausing at any point, just to ground and settle. Making your way up and adjusting. Once you reach the top, hands face forward, palms face forward. Feet are about hips distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. And with an inhale, reach your arms overhead. Once again, grab your elbows, forearms or wrists with your hands. Settle in, exhale. From here, I want you to start to lean your weight onto your left foot. And start to reach your right toes behind your left leg. So we're crossing, and it can be a very wide cross, or it can be a much shorter one. Let right toes press to the ground, and then take a moment, find your balance. Your knees can bend. Take an inhale, and then exhale, side bend left. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend right. I'll do a much smaller side bend on this side for 3, 2. Good, inhale, center. And then exhale, slowly bring your right foot back to where it started. Take a moment, switch which arm is in front. And then very slowly start to lean your weight onto your right foot. Left foot comes behind your right leg. And again, you can either really reach to make space, bring it a little closer. It truly doesn't matter. Just finding something that feels stable for you. You can allow your knees to bend, left toes press to the earth, and then turn your chest forward. What we're going to want to do is spin to make this easier on our hips. But I want you to try to keep your heart facing forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, side bend right. Breathing here for 3, 2. Good. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, side bend left. For 3, 2. Inhale, center. Exhale, slide or step that left foot back to where you started. Good. Big breath in. And exhale, release your arms down by your side. And take that moment to let yourself feel heavy, to feel that release from allowing your shoulders to relax. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, little stretch in the left side of your neck. And if you want to add a little bit to it, you can bring the back of your left hand to your lower back. Gives it a little shoulder stretch for 3, 2. Good. If your hand's behind your back, release it. Head comes to center. And then left ear drops towards your left shoulder. Again, you can bring your right hand to your lower back. Back of your right hand meets your back. For 3, 2. Good. Head comes back to center and you release your hand. Big breath in, arms overhead. And exhale, fold forward. And step your right foot to the back of the mat. And then before you start to lower your knee, grab your blanket or blankets and stack them under your body. So you're in kind of a lunge shape here. And then just stack your blankets up. I like a pretty high stack because we're going to come into pigeon pose. And if pigeon isn't happening for you today, you can take a seat onto your bottom and you'll take a seated pigeon or a reclined pigeon, which I will also show. So once you have that little blanket roll under your body, start to rock your weight forward and lower your right knee to the earth. And then kind of heel toe your left foot across the mat and lower down. Now, the closer your left foot is to your groin and your body, the more available this stretch becomes for your hips. And the further it is, the more intense it may become. So take that moment and see how close or far you want your left foot from your body. You can slide your hips back in space a little bit. Good. And then just lower down to a space where you can feel restful. Now I'm going to come out of this just to show the seated option. If you're coming into a seated or even reclined pigeon, you're crossing left ankle over right thigh. And then maybe you bend your right knee. And you can take the same shape, but on your back. So a couple options there. And we'll take about 5 more rounds of breath here. Good, and start to make your way up. And just rock onto your left hip, slide your left leg around, and find a downward facing dog. And if you're on your booty, swing your legs around or roll over your ankles and find your downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet out. We obviously haven't spent a lot of time here today, and we probably won't. And so take what you like from it, skip it if you don't want it. And look between your hands and start to make that journey up into your forward fold. Bringing your blocks back under your hands if they moved. And then step your left toes to the back of the mat. And we're coming into pigeon on the other side. So if you took a different variation than this one, you can come to your booty or your back. And since we have our blankets already, lower your left knee and then start to heel toe your right foot across the mat and lower down. Just finding that comfortable distance between your body and your right foot. Keeping your right foot just a little bit flexed and then lowering down into a sleeping version of this. And this is not, we're not really focusing on a very alignment heavy pigeon right now. And so if your hips shift a little bit, if things are kind of moving around to compensate and make your body more comfortable, that is really, really kind of the goal for today. And so we'll take this hip opener, whatever variation of pigeon pose you're in, for 8 more rounds of breath, because the setup just took a little less time on the side. Beautiful. And slowly coming up. And just rock towards your right so you can kind of wiggle that right leg behind. And we'll just meet in down dog. Taking a few rounds of breath here. Beautiful. And then slowly just rolling forward and lowering your knees to the earth. If it feels comfortable to sit your hips back, you can do that, or you can stay a little higher as we grab one of our blankets and roll it into kind of a skinnier burrito, something like this. And then sit up, lay that blanket over kind of the meatiest part of your calves. And then sit your hips back so that you're resting onto the blanket. And rock a little side to side. And if this feels like a little bit too much, you can bring your block under your hands and make it almost kind of like an elevated tabletop shape. And that way you can really modulate how much weight is going onto your calves and your feet. Because the tops of the feet and the tops of our ankles often don't get a lot of love, don't get a lot of attention. And so this is a great way to kind of build flexibility in there, to build some mobility. And either staying still or pulsing here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rocking up and forward, sliding that blanket out. We're going to continue to use this blanket kind of just in the same shape it's in. You might need to reestablish your burrito. And this time you're gonna lay it down in front of you, and we're going to lay over the blanket, and we want it kind of just below your pelvic area. So kind of the tops of your thighs, somewhere around here, and it's gonna slightly vary because you don't wanna be feeling any pinching or pain, especially on your pubic bone. And so laying that blanket down, walking yourself forward, and then laying the tops of your thighs onto the blanket. You can lower onto your forearms here and rock your hips a little side to side. And I know this may seem like a little kind of clunky, and that's because it is. But our hip flexors, which we spent a decent amount of time kind of working with today, we're just massaging them a little bit. And if you want to kind of worm yourself forward, you can also massage your quads a little bit. And this is a great alternative if foam rolling just feels just really challenging and like too much a lot of the time. This is a great alternative. So again, you can try worming yourself forward, massage the rest of your quads. And slowly make your way back. Good. And release that rocking motion. Find a nice comfortable spot and then stack your hands and rest your forehead down. Just giving our hips this really gentle lift with the blanket. We'll take 5 rounds of breath. Very slowly lifting your head, sliding your hands kind of under your shoulders, pressing yourself up and back into tabletop. Keep that blanket in that same shape. And we're going to lay over it on our backs this time. And so this blanket will go right under your scapula or your shoulder blades, or if you're someone who wears a bra, the bra line. Roll over and lay over it. You may need to readjust, so lay down slowly. And bring your arms into that box shape, so grabbing elbows, forearms, or wrists over your head. Knees can be bent or legs can be straight. It is a personal choice. And we'll take 10 rounds of breath here. If your knees are bent, you can rock them a little side to side and just see how the blanket kind of massages that part of your back. And using your next few rounds of breath, release your arms and bring one of your forearms and hands to the earth, doesn't matter which one. Roll towards that hand and slide your blanket out from under you. And then lay down onto your back once again. Bringing your knees to be bent, soles of the feet to the ground. Take a moment here. And with your next inhale, just a little press of your hips towards the sky. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, hips towards the sky. Exhale, lower. Last one, hips towards the sky. And exhale, lower down. Wiggle your feet in so you feel like your thighs are pressing together. Draw your knees up Feet come off the earth, and then drop your stacked legs to the right. Right hand can come on top of the left leg, and left arm can extend. If you have a lot of space between either your knees or your knees in the ground or both, fill the gaps with a blocker blanket. If there's a lot of space between your left shoulder and the earth, fill that gap with, I think a blanket is most comfortable, but if you have a pillow, that's also a wonderful option. And we'll take 5 rounds of breath here. Bringing your legs back to center. Resituating yourself in the center of your mat. And with your next inhale, just lift your hips towards the sky. Just one time and exhale, lower. Walk your feet in, press your legs together. Lift your feet off the earth and then drop your stacked legs to the left. Left hand can come on top of your right thigh, right arm extends. And then again, fill any gaps. Anything that's floating deserves something to rest onto. So give your body that space for support. We'll take 7 rounds of breath. Bring your legs back to center, recentering your body on the mat, and then take one just little hip lift and lower. Draw your knees towards your armpits. Bring your hands either behind your thighs for happy baby, or to the outside edges of your feet. Soles of the feet face the sky. Either version is wonderful. Rock a little side to side. And if you feel like in order to grab your feet, your whole butt lifts off the ground, I would say maybe stick with behind the thighs or behind your knees for right now, just because it's going to serve you more in the long run ultimately. Very slowly, take a slow, slow, slow inhale. Hold for a moment. And exhale, release everything down to the earth for Shavasana. Finding any shape that supports your stillness, maybe sliding some support under your knees or your head or your back. Allowing your eyes to close. Body to heavy and soften towards the ground. And we'll take a little time here to be still, to be quiet, just to sit with ourselves for a few minutes. So enjoy your Shavasana, my friends. I'll bring you out when the time comes. beginning just to deepen your breath. Knowing that you can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you have time for. If you're ready to find some movement, you can start just by wiggling your fingers and toes. Taking sharper inhalations. Just taking up more space, kind of energetically first with your breath. Maybe with a sound. And then physically by shifting, maybe reaching, stretching, extending. Just kind of finding that first thing in the morning. Really natural, feel-good movement. Eventually allowing yourself to change shape, either to a twist, a little ball, onto your side. Taking a little time there, really giving space and reverence to our transition. And very slowly making your way back to a comfortable seat. Allowing your eyes to stay closed or closing them once you arrive. Bring your palms together, beginning to rub your hands, creating that little bit of heat, that friction. And then returning to where we started, bring one hand over the belly, one hand over the chest to touch or to hover. Just feeling that warmth, feeling that connection. Breath, heart, body. And taking a moment to thank yourself for coming to your mat, making time for yourself. A moment to thank your body for being wonderful. As always, I encourage you to find as many moments as you can to really just be in awe of yourself. With a small bow of my head, maybe to a small bow of your head in gratitude, thank you. Thank you for being here, for sharing your practice with me and with each other. It is truly such a privilege to be your teacher. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you again. I hope you enjoyed class. If you have any questions at all, as always, will hang around for a little bit to answer them. But otherwise, you're free to go. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I have a class on Thursday, and I would love to see you there. So bye if you're leaving. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Drink some water. Sorry. Yes, she ended on time. Thank you. So I'm just going to switch this to gallery mode real quick. Cool. Well, hi. I just wanted to make a little space. If anyone has any questions about anything we did in the practice today or otherwise, this is a great time to ask. So I will be quiet. You can feel free to unmute or drop it in the chat. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thanks, Andrea. I'm glad you enjoyed it. This is like, to me, this is the yoga that like in my head, I'm like, this is what helps me live longer. Just like this slow, mindful type stuff. Like obviously sweating is great, but I'm glad you came, Sarah. I feel like live classes help keep me accountable. And like, yeah, that's kind of the beauty. It's like, you know what? Other people are actually going to be there. There's just something that feels really good, I think, about moving. Oh, yay. I'm so glad that you came. Is it Lisa? Yeah, I'm so glad that you came. I know it's like live classes I know when the pandemic first started, it took me months to go to a live class. I was so intimidated and I kept my camera off the whole time. And honestly, I still keep my camera off when I practice like on Zoom classes. It's just like more comfortable for me, but like it's a really cool step. So I'm really glad that you came. Yay, it's great to see you. I like your guitar in the background too. Yay. Let's see. I'll give just another minute or two and then we'll go on. I'm gonna go thrifting today and I'm really excited. So, okay, cool. Morgan, I can't tell if you're typing. I kind of see you typing, but if you don't have a question, it's fine. I'm not trying to put you on the spot or anything. Okay. Oh, thanks. Oh, yay. Okay, I'm glad you caught it. The timing is wacky and I'm also a space cadet and I tend to fuck it up. I fuck something up every time. So I appreciate y'all's patience. Thank you again for being here. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Oh, wait, I see any post-yoga smoothie recommendations. Yes. I mean, it depends what you like, but personally, I keep it simple. I like banana or pineapple or both with something green. I like spinach personally and some lime or a little bit orange juice, something citrusy. That's me. I keep it simple, or berry, banana, and like something creamy. You really can't go wrong with like that kind of smoothie. So I'm jealous that you're in smoothie weather. All right, everyone. So thank you again. Have a good weekend. I'll see ya.